I'm sitting in our polytunnel today to talk to you, and the sun keeps coming in and out, so I may have to adjust the exposure. I'm on the land on our farm at Biggleswick Farm, which I hope you're following the exploits on the English couple. There's a new English couple that's going out today, so do check that link in the description. And so there's two things I want to talk about today. One, first of all, book update. I just want to let people know Julia and I have been away on the land. We stayed in the van overnight on the land and at the farm, and cool, blimey, it blew a blew a bit of a gale and there was a lot of rain. That didn't put us off because we're in the process of putting up a tool shed, or a workshop, I suppose is a better term for it, and it's got to get done. And the thing about the land is we know we're going to get short days, and we know we're going to get rain, and we know it's going to get cold. So we lit a fire, and despite the rain and despite the wind, we were able to keep ourselves warm. And we had some minute steaks. They were very lovely, kept us warm. Julia was brilliant with cooking the vegetables and the minute steaks, and I was just smoking my pipe, you know. No, I lent a hand, of course. So the books, because we've been away, I noticed on my email feed on my phone that a number of people have been requesting the books, and some people have ordered them, and I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And as I said before, you know, I'm trying to fit this in with everything that we're doing. So if there is a bit of delay or no communication from me, don't panic. As I say, you know, this is a sort of single man operation. The lovely Julia helps me, so it's a sort of couples operation. Hello, we've got very much light coming in there. The sun suddenly blasting through the polytunnel. Which, if you haven't seen the polytunnel, by the way, it's on the English couple, and you'll see how we put it together with this is these bits of wood here is what kind of pine is it? It's spruce pine, Norway spruce, that they make Christmas trees out of. And then above at the back, you can't really see it, but it's hazel that's holding the, sorry, yeah, willow. It's willow that's holding the doing the curve, because you can bend willow. Sorry, I'm playing around with this camera like nobody's business, and I apologise for that. So yeah, so that's why the books might be a bit delayed, but I'm going to the post office. Trouble is, you know, you go into the post office, and as somebody said, they like to stagger going to the post office if they're doing a lot. It's very difficult. I do stagger down to the post office with a little trolley and a few boxes, but you can see that they you can see them wince when they see me come in with all these books. So it is a bit tricky. So, you know, some will go out Saturday, some will go out Monday or Tuesday next week, but we're in a very short time frame to get this workshop done, because most of it's exposed and we don't want the water to get over in it too much and it waterlogged, because it's all made out of timber, local trees, and only a tiny bit really of bought timber. So that's really good. The other thing I wanted to talk about really was just the joy of doing this. We're learning new skills, and this is one of the things I think the English couple hopefully will demonstrate, that a lot of people think that it's hard work, and I'm not saying it's not hard work, but that it's insurmountable or that they couldn't do it. And as people know, I'm in my 60s, early 60s, thank you very much, now. And, you know, if you keep yourself fit, if you keep yourself in good condition, sorry, playing with the camera again, if you keep yourself in as best condition as you can, it isn't too much of an issue. And yeah, and if you get tired, you take a break. Julia and I will have a cup of tea, we'll have a pipeful, we'll sit down. While we're trying to get this stuff done as quickly as we can, we're not going to break our backs or punish our bodies to the nth degree that we can't possibly work the next day or need to take weeks off to recover. And I think that's an important part of the whole journey, is learning what you can and what you can't do, and knowing your limits. Learning how the camera keeps going up and down is another thing. I ought to put it on automatic exposure for when it's on these things, but I prefer to do it on manual, and then I forget how you do the automatic exposure, so apologies for that. As you can see, we have actually got, oh, you can't see because it keeps going dark, sorry, the sun is, it's just one of those days. We had broad sunshine all morning, And I thought, oh, at some point I'll do my video. Should have done it in the morning when the sun was even thing. Anyway, I'm boring you with that. But yeah, lots of plants are growing in here. Now, a lot of people have said, oh no, you'll never grow plants at this time of year. You'll never do it. And then you go on YouTube, and there was a guy, okay, he was in America, but he said the winter comes and it gets down to -15. And he's got abundant plants growing. And he said, well, as long as you put them in cold frames, you know, that'll keep off the snow and some of the frost and what have you. But the hardy winter crops will see you through the winter. And it's got to be true, hasn't it? Because if everything just died, we'd never have anything. I mean, I know people import things from all sorts of different places, which is fine. I'm always going the wrong way. I must remember this button. And, you know, I think for us, it's learning. It's just that learning curve of what will grow at what season. And although some people will pessimistically say, no, that will never grow, that won't work, this won't work. Why, you know, if we listen to everybody else, we won't learn ourselves. And I think part of the wisdom is spending that first year just giving it a go and seeing where we get to, really. And that's the aim. That's the aim. One of the things that we've been doing on this tool shed workshop thing is putting in this offcuts from trees. Now, these offcuts from trees, if you imagine you've got a tree and you go to a sawmill and they saw down one side, they saw down the other side, they saw down this side, and they sort of to make a square block, which then they turn into timber and planks and what have you. Well, those offcuts they sometimes throw away or chop into firewood. Well, we're using those as cladding, but what we have to do is to saw the sides straight so that they all butt together. So one of the things that we've been learning, and it's been great fun, Julia's loving it, I'm loving it, it is, you know, tedious and time consuming, doesn't always work, is using a circular saw. So we've got this circular saw and it's buzzing away like nobody's business, and it's run off a generator which I bought about a year ago. And yeah, and of course, you know, it's dangerous, so we're wearing safety goggles and we're making sure we're well away from the blade and all those sort of things, because, you know, people were going to say, oh, you shouldn't be using that. Some power tools, of course, are useful, but what we haven't got, and really and truly probably don't intend to ever get, is those great big diggers, you know, the JCB diggers for digging things and all of that, because we do like the hand tools. And the scythe that I had was given by wonderful Sarah Fiona, has been so useful for, you know, that stinging nettles grow back very rapidly. And so you can just whip out with the old scythe and do it and whip them away, which has been just amazing. And so it's so useful. So you haven't got to go out and get the strimmer out and fill it with petrol and all of this. And you'll see that, I can't remember which episode that's in the English Couple. But it's in there, and we're trying to show you so that we can just show you our story. If it inspires others, then that's great. If it doesn't, you know, if it put people off. But I think it would be great to see more people taking on little plots of land, and not necessarily big plots, you know, little plots, an acre or two like we have, and get back to how things used to be. Now, I'm going bonkers with this camera thing. It must be driving you mad. It's driving me mad. That's because we may get some more rain, actually, looking at the sky above. But we have to finish a bit earlier today because we've got to get back. It's Friday as I film this. I've got to get back. I've got to go and get some more of these books signed. Everyone gets signed, by the way. Anyway, that's really it. I didn't want to linger any longer on this. Just to say that it's my talks on the channel now are going to be, as I've kind of hinted at before, more about what we're up to. The English Couple will show the progress. I can sit and talk about certain things. If you've got questions, you can always ask them, and I can answer them by email, what we're doing and how we're doing it as best we can. Don't always see the comments, so I know people sometimes ask questions in the comments. I think somebody asked if Biggleswick, the book, will be an audio book at some time. Yes, it will, but you may have to wait a little bit because we probably need to get through the winter. if we've got to the point where we can do no more, I'll sit down and start recording the audiobook. But time is precious, and being on the land for Julia and I is extremely precious, so we're going to make the most of that. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you doing fewer of the monologues, as you may have noticed, every other day mostly. Still doing the pipe smoking videos over on the Vobe Show channel, him and his pipe, and of course the English couple, which we're plugging. And if you're interested in the book, just email me, richard@vobes.com. I'll send you the details. I mentioned in the UK, where is the UK? Political construct, of course. Here on the landmass of Britain, inland Britain, the postage for one book is about £6. I'm taking the hit on the jiffy bag because I haven't quite mastered which jiffy bags to use. But overseas, the tariffs are different. And I noticed in the comments somebody was saying, oh, you didn't mention what the tariffs were for everywhere else. Well, every country, there is a different price. So to Greece, to Turkey, to Spain, to Canada, to New Zealand and Australia, they're all varied prices. And every time I go to the post office, they look at me with slight, disappointment, because I'll be saying, oh, and by the way, how much would it cost to go to such and such? And then they tell me. So I don't know all the tariffs yet, but I'm learning them. And where I do know them, if people ask, I will send you the details as soon as I know. Anyway, there you go. Just doing the best we can. I know it's not good enough for some people, but I'm not worried about that. You just have to do what you can. Anyway, thank you for watching. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.